Hi, my friends, joining you for our Tuesday of the fourth week of Easter Gospel Reflection. Our Gospel passage for today is John chapter 10, verses 22 through 30. Now, our Gospel passage for today is a continuation of the last couple days' Gospels, all in this Good Shepherd discourse that happens in the Gospel of John. And before we get into that, I want to give you a little more context even. In John chapter 9, Jesus heals the man blind from birth. Remember this famous story? He takes the clay and he puts it on the man's eyes and tells him to go and wash, and then the man returns and he's healed. And the Pharisees who observed the miracle are all up in arms because Jesus, A, performed a miracle, and B, he did it on the Sabbath. And they get in this debate with him about, are you the Christ? Are you really claiming to be God? How can you do that? So then Jesus responds to them with his Good Shepherd discourse. This is his way of proving himself and demonstrating. And first he starts out with this figure of speech. I am the Good Shepherd. My sheep know me and I know them and they follow me and I lay down my life for the sheep and all of that beautiful stuff. In today's gospel passage, they've heard all of this beautiful stuff and they still don't get it. They don't feel that he's proved it. And they say to him in a really pointed way, how long are you going to keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly. So enough parables, no more figures of speech, Jesus. Tell us. And he responds again by saying, my sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me. He also says, the works I do in my Father's name testify to me. What I have done and what I'm saying, prove it. So, most believers find themselves swaying back and forth. They have moments of great faith, and they have moments of great doubt, and they have lots of moments in between. Do you ever find yourself asking God or just asking if he's real? If this is true? If he can really do these things? Maybe sometimes you lose sight of his work in your life. I think sometimes when we go about our day-to-day routines, we take for granted those things, that the things that God is providing that are just always there. They're constant. And in a lot of ways, those basic, mundane needs that we have are just usually met. And so we start to take them for granted until we don't have them. So if you find yourself somewhere below just perfect faith, I don't know anyone that has perfect faith all the time. If you find yourself sometimes doubting or needing reassurance, look to this gospel passage. Look to Jesus, the Good Shepherd, and look to this story about the man who was healed from blindness. In these two passages, we hear about two different senses. We hear about sight and we hear about hearing, where the man who is blind now can see, and we hear about spiritual sight, and even people who can physically see sometimes can't see. We often fall in that camp. Then in the Good Shepherd, remember we hear Jesus says, my sheep hear my voice, and they know me, and they follow me. So sight and hearing. I urge you today, as you're reflecting on your relationship with the Lord and how he's working in your life, to take a serious look up around you and give him praise and adoration for the ways that he's working in your life. For the people who have spoken to you that maybe help you hear his voice. For how you hear him in prayer. For how to look around and to see the ways and the things that he's providing. This provident Father who is one with the Son, the tender Good Shepherd. how they together with the Holy Spirit care for the sheep so that the sheep hear them and know them and follow them. Thank you, my friends. God bless you.